What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the 6. I'm Rob. Doing the Longrow 18. Alright. This is natural color, bottled at 46%. And it's the peated of the 3 expressions done by the Springbank Distillery. Springbank does Hazelburn, which is unpeated, triple distilled. Then Springbank, which has a little bit of peat, and then you have your Longrow, which is supposed to be the peated Campbelltown single malt. The barley is dried for 48 hours using peat smoke, all right? So that's what gives it its peat essence, its peat character, so to speak. I don't find it more peated than some of the Springbank expressions that I've had so far. The 12-year-old cast strength is just as peated, if not maybe a little bit less peated than the Longrow 18, all right, but not much. It's not noticeable in my opinion. This has been sitting on my desk for just over a month, and I'm glad it's done that because it's improved drastically from when I first opened it. It needed a little bit of time to settle down, to oxidize a little bit. The peat comes through a little bit more, and the alcohol burn a little bit less, which is great. All right. When I first opened it, I wasn't overly impressed, but that drastically changed the more I had a chance with it. All right. So on the nose, honestly, I wrote this down in my notes, and it's one of the few drams that every time I come back to it, I get the exact same thing. And it's literally when my wife makes me a stack of pancakes with maple syrup and then some overcooked bacon, but overcooked in the best possible way because it's crispy and it's a little smoky and it's salty. So you get that combination of that sweet maple syrup and that salty, smoky bacon, and that's what I'm getting here. That's what I get on the nose. And it's not overly peated, so that's why I'm saying, like, it's not a smoked bacon. It's like a little bit overcooked bacon, maybe. Just a beautiful nose. You can tell there's sherry casks in here. You can tell there's ex-bourbon casks in there. You get the vanilla, you get the fruit, like the red fruits and stuff like that. Really, really nice nose. But like I said, then it takes me back to that beautiful breakfast of champions where you would have pancakes and bacon and maybe a little bit of eggs. It's a pre-kickboxing type breakfast, my Saturday morning type breakfast. On the palate. And then the same thing. And it's sweet and a bit of touch of salt, maybe, and a little bit of that smokiness, that smoky bacon, a little bit less on the palate than on the nose, but just beautiful. I like this a lot better than I like the Springbank 18. I was not a fan of the Springbank 18. I think this is much better. This is the 2017 version of the Longrow 18. I'm happy to get this one. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know what the 2018 is like, but I know that it's not available in Canada yet. So, and I do have a backup bottle of this. This is a bottle that I'm going to be sharing with a friend. Yeah, really good stuff. If I had to give this a mark when I first opened it, it probably would have been like an 86, 87. Now it's like an 89 to 90. So it's right on the cusp of being an A+, and I think it might actually be an A+. It's really good stuff. One of the luxuries of having this channel and having so many whiskeys is that I get to take my time with a few of them, and I'll pretty much try every single one as soon as I get it, and then they sit there for a while. And what that does is it allows time for the whiskey to oxidize a little bit, and sometimes that's beneficial, sometimes it's not, but most times it's beneficial in my opinion. So in the past, before I even started the channel, and sometimes when I started the channel and I really wanted to get a review out, I would open a whiskey and review it right away, or I would open a whiskey in the past and spend 3 weeks with it, share with friends and whatnot, and it would be gone in 3 or 4 weeks, and then I never really gave it the opportunity to show me its full character. And I wouldn't open up several bottles. I would only have 1 or 2 on the go at all times. Now obviously that's changed. I have probably about 30 bottles here, and then there's more upstairs. So it gives the whiskey a chance to actually show me its true character, and that happened here, and I'm happy it did, because at first when I opened it I was a little bit underwhelmed. I thought that the Springbank 12-year-old was leaps and bounds better, but I'm happy to say that this is pretty close. This is pretty close. It's different. If you're looking for something more everyday, that's this. The Springbank 12, you can't really drink that every day. If you drink that every day, you might have some issues with the doctor in a couple months. Whereas this one, you can drink every day. It's 46%. It's a little lighter, a little easier. All right, good stuff overall. Okay, so like I said, that's an 89 or a 90. So it's borderline AA+. All right, and I'm happy with it, and I recommend it. You can pick this up in some provinces for anywhere between $160 and $200. In the US, I'm not exactly sure what the availability is on it, but in the UK, you have to enter a lottery for a lot of these, which kind of sucks, because that's kind of what happened with the Buffalo Trace stuff. There's only 100 barrels that, or 100 casks, sorry, that are used for Longrow expressions once a year. So each of the expressions is pretty limited, all right? You're talking about only 100 spread out between the Longrow 18, the Longrow Red, the No Age Statement, and I think that's all the expression. I don't know if there's more than 3, but if there is, that lessens it even more, all right? So you're talking about very limited amounts per year, and what that's caused is chaos basically in the UK, because in the UK, you literally have to enter a lottery for a bottle at times for certain expressions, or you have to be one of the first people to get to a local liquor store, because usually they only have 1 per customer, and there's often a lineup when they hear that there's going to be a Longrow or a Springbank release. So we're fortunate in Canada at the moment, but I don't know how long that's going to last. So pick one up if you can, all right? Try to be kind. Pick up 2 if you have to, but don't clear off shelves, because it would be nice if other people could get a chance to have at these whiskeys, all right? Really, really good stuff. I'm happy with the Longrow here. I'm really, really excited about how this Longrow Red tastes. I think what I've learned about myself is I'm starting to like the cast strength younger stuff a little bit better than some of the older stuff, which is kind of strange for me, because I never thought I would say that. But that just goes to show you how palates evolve. Anyway, you guys can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can join us on Snaps. We're all trading and having a good time on there, and we would like to have you guys, so check it out. And you guys can also support this channel on Patreon, and I'll drop the link below. Cheers.